Most definitely. Do you think that Charles will be able to move on from this and not allow his tenure as king, his reign, to be tainted by this scandal?
Oh, I mean, there's so much that King Charles has had to dodge over the last few years. Racism allegations, Harry and Meghan lobbing those from the United States.
The royal family just got through their most scandal-filled year in a long time. Now, a huge new shock has come out that could ruin everything. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former prince who lost his titles and perks, may have links to Meghan Markle that people weren't allowed to talk about. Reports say Meghan and Andrew may have met in rich, fancy social circles years before Harry was around. Some people say the palace tried hard to hide this. What makes this even bigger is that Charles and Catherine are said to be reacting in private like they know more than they're saying. The palace is panicking. If Andrew really knew Meghan before she married Harry, then people will demand answers. Harry might not even know how deep this goes. Hold on tight, this could change how you see Meghan and the royals.
I've been told from an excellent source that both Andrew and Sarah are in a bit of a quandary, a bit of a dilemma. As you know, the stories are just emulating every single day and they're never positive. The problem is this particular ongoing investigation regarding Jeffrey Epstein and his disgraceful behaviour. There's no other two ways to describe it.
Here's what people say is happening now. Andrew lost everything in October 2025. King Charles took away his prince title, made him leave Royal Lodge, and removed his royal privileges. He went from Prince Andrew, Duke of York, to just Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. And when someone loses everything, people start paying attention to what they knew. Sources say Andrew may have known about Meghan years before Harry did. They claim she moved in rich, powerful groups and met important men in the same circles Andrew was in. This is what drives insiders crazy. Andrew's household leaked Harry and Meghan's relationship to the press in October 2016. That part has been reported. But why would Andrew's staff do that? What did they gain?
There's something strange here that's starting to become a pattern, and you can see it here in this video. Right after he says, "I found the love of my life," there is a weird pause of discomfort. You do not have to be a profiler or anything to see this. You'll feel it.
I've now found the love of my life.
Unless Andrew already knew something about Meghan, unless they had a past in those fancy circles, and he wanted the public to find out early, some say Meghan worked yacht events and high society parties for years before meeting Harry. Andrew also spent time in those same rich social circles because of Jeffrey Epstein. That overlap is hard to ignore. Here's a part that doesn't make sense, Harry said. Meghan once thought Prince Andrew was a servant when she first met the family. Really? Meghan was already friends with Princess Eugenie before meeting Harry, and Eugenie is Andrew's daughter. So how could Meghan know Eugenie well but not recognize her father? That feels off.
There's no coming back for him, is there? I mean, you detail a lot of it in the book. There's a lot of stuff that I wasn't aware of, but he can't come back now, surely.
I wouldn't have thought so. I don't think he'd necessarily want to. I mean, he's been pretty bruised from the whole of the experience.
Royal writers asked the same thing. How can you be close to someone's daughter but not know who her dad is? It doesn't make sense unless something else is happening. Maybe Meghan didn't recognize Andrew on purpose, or acted like she didn't, because if she admitted she knew him, people would ask how they met, where they met, and who they knew. Those are questions she may not have wanted.
So playing confused made sense, acting like Andrew was just some random person.
People inside the palace supposedly noticed too. They felt something about Meghan's reaction didn't.
And Andrew? Sources say his household was not happy about the servant comment.
That might be why Andrew's people leaked the relationship soon after. Now, let's talk about Meghan's mystery years, the time before Suits, when some claim she was at elite parties and networking events. Some photos online showed women on yachts near Prince Andrew at rich social events.
The official story when Meghan's name got connected was that these women were other people, not Meghan.
People looked very closely at photos from around 2010.
On Brian or others, that they will really spill the beans. And therefore, best to keep them close, both of them. And that's, they walk this tightrope. There's speculation, there's been leaks to the press that, there's been a summit at Balmoral and they're talking as a result of my book about what they can do. That's all window dressing. Nothing will happen. Nothing will change.
But here's the strange part. The photos and talk about them got shut down fast. Fact-checking sites rushed to say it wasn't Meghan. The palace didn't comment, but suddenly lots of outlets repeated that it wasn't her. Why rush so hard to stop it? If it was obviously wrong, why not just ignore it?
Why activate PR machines to kill theories about overlapping social circles?
Because even if those exact photos weren't Meghan, the bigger idea still worried people. If the public started digging into whether Meghan and Andrew ever crossed paths in elite circles, what else could come out? Some authors and rumors claim Meghan had connections to yacht events and luxury social groups, and that she was photographed on boats with wealthy people.
Andrew was notorious for his yacht gatherings with Epstein and billionaires.
And those circles may overlap a lot. Did Meghan and Andrew meet at one of those events? Did they know the same people? Did someone connected to Andrew help Meghan end up meeting Harry? The palace would never want anyone chasing those questions.
I got approached by a guy named Jeff Rayner, who spoke to me and said, "I can change your image," he said. The idea was that these would all be candid shots, discreet, no one would know they were posed or anything. It would be just me doing my routine daily. I was feeling that this was very hokey and hammy.
And now it gets even more serious.
King Charles has been making strange moves regarding Andrew lately.
Even after taking Andrew's titles, reports say Charles still calls him often. Some say Charles is letting him have a bit more staff help and easing the punishment.
Charles is ruthless when protecting the monarchy. He had no problem destroying Andrew publicly.
So, why is Charles acting kinder in private? What is he afraid Andrew might say? Sources claim Charles is trying to control what Andrew could reveal about royal situations, not just Epstein, but who knew what and when. Some say it also includes things about Meghan's background. Charles supposedly compared Meghan to Sarah Ferguson early on. He may have seen a pattern. An outsider marries in, the media loves her at first, then everything turns into drama.
Charles predicted Meghan's trajectory before it happened. But did Charles know more than just a pattern?
Did Charles already know something about Meghan's past, links to Andrew's world? Did he try to warn Harry, and Harry didn't listen?
The thing is, I'm not going to go down to this point. I'm going to answer your questions, but that's done. It's finished. I've answered it. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next question.
This is just the starting point of this year in your life that you've written about.
Thank you very much.
It's pivotal. It's what started the whole thing.
Thank you.
You do write, though, that this tabloid scandal, in fact, you almost feel thankful for it. It let you, I don't know, review your life, see where you were.
Royal biographer Nigel Cawthorne revealed Charles foresaw massive problems with Meghan joining the family.
Some people claim Charles expected trouble because he had already lived through big family drama with Andrew and Fergie, and even earlier with
Catherine's reaction is equally telling. Princess Catherine has stayed completely silent.
Catherine has stayed calm in public for years when it comes to Sussex drama. She doesn't react and keeps her royal face on. But sources say she is privately worried about the Andrew situation, not only because of Epstein, but because of what might exist about Meghan and Andrew being in the same social circles.
Catherine allegedly believes Harry deserves to know the full story.
In December 2025, new Epstein files were released. Some say there were references to Harry and Meghan inside them, though not accusations.
But proof of how valuable their names were in media coverage. An email from March 2020 showed people discussing an article about
one story about Harry speaking on Andrew's Epstein. Friendship supposedly created huge media attention, millions in publicity value. It showed how tightly the press tied Andrew's scandal and the Sussex drama together. People were obsessed with any link between Harry's uncle and Harry's wife.
I would like to look at a timeline of what's happened for Meghan, because over time she started off, and there was no question that she had, her values were about forwarding Meghan. You know, that's what it's about. And about, you know, covering that with a bit of charity work. How lovely. So she meets a prince.
But here's another key point. Virginia Giuffre's lawyer said back in 2021
he wanted to depose Meghan in the Andrew case. Not because Meghan was accused of anything.
That they thought Meghan might know something about Andrew's activities and connections. Think about that. A lawyer for Epstein's victims believed Meghan could have information about Andrew's social world.
How would Meghan know anything unless she'd been around similar elite circles?
The lawyer never got to question Meghan. The case settled, but that statement still exists.
A legal professional saying he believed Meghan had information worth exploring about Andrew's social world.
I hope people spit in your face when they see you walking down the street. I hope, they throw human feces at you because of how you really are as a person inside.
And look, I know there's a lot of rhetoric and some people won't enjoy that.
Here's the hard truth. Even if Meghan and Andrew did meet in rich social circles before Harry, the palace can't talk about it openly.
Because discussing it means admitting they didn't fully investigate Meghan's background.
Because it would mean admitting they didn't fully check all of Meghan's high society connections. It would also mean admitting the Sussex situation was more complicated than they expected. And for Harry, it would be painful. He left his family, hurt his bond with William, damaged things with Charles, and walked away from royal life maybe without knowing the full story about his wife's past connections.
Meghan found a way there. It's hardly surprising that she felt right at home. Soho House isn't just a club, it's a scene, a network, a place where Hollywood hopefuls rub shoulders with high society heavyweights, all while being surrounded by decor that's a little provocative.
So the palace stays silent. They address individual photos when forced to.
But they still avoid the biggest question. Were Meghan and Andrew linked through elite circles before Harry? That silence feels loud. Not always because there's proof, but because answering would bring even more questions. Go back to October 2016. Harry and Meghan had been secretly dating for 4 months, and Harry wanted it quiet. Then someone from Andrew's household leaked the relationship to the Sunday Express. The story was strangely positive, calling Meghan a Grace Kelly type and making it sound like a fairy tale. It almost felt like the leak was meant to push the relationship into the open in a nice way. But if it came from Andrew's household, why would they care about Harry's girlfriend? Why rush it? People guess a few things. Maybe someone wanted to control the story early, maybe Andrew's circle already knew about Meghan, or maybe the leak had a bigger purpose. If you paste the next batch or tell me where you want to stop, I'll keep rewriting it the same way.